All right, so looking at the tool post, all of these handles are not particularly great. There's a bit of a gap there and whatever, but the thread on this one looks pretty clean. And the actual tool post doesn't look too bad. It's oiled. It had a little piece of copper there for whatever reason. And that's fine. These things all look decent. They all move pretty easily. Of course, this is not a quick change tool post. It's what comes with the machine. And you've got this little pin with a spring, which is really just goes, catches onto one of those just to keep it squared off and pushes it up when you undo it. So this looks pretty good. I've got no major complaints there. This little, I know these are painful little wheels to turn, but it's moving very gradually. It looks alright. So I think that's fine. We got, I think these are called gib bolts or gib screws. I gotta say the construction of this looks fairly good. I don't think I've got any issues here. And on this one, it's relatively smooth. It's not too bad. You've got, you can't see them from there, but you've got all these little oiling ports. Now this is filthy though, so that does need cleaning. And I'll show you what I mean. There is literally a layer of grimy dirt which needs to come off, because this will just fall on top of the slide mechanism here and just grind up stuff. So not great. It's pretty much a problem throughout the machine. In fact, I think I'm going to take this off as a whole, and yeah, let's see, I'll have to move those, take this out, remove that, and remove these. Okay, let's see if I can do that with the right key. This one. Not that one either. Okay, so we got one there. I'm going to move the tail stick a little bit to get in there. Some of these bolts, when you want to loosen them, they feel pretty rough, so I've got to okay, so that's, see, this is what happens when you don't know what you're doing. I think I need to take this off first to take that off. That's what I'm hoping anyway. And I'm hoping whatever finicky little parts drop out when I do that, meaning that I can still find them and find my way around it. Okay, there we go. Yep. I think that's going to come out as one big block. Let's see if I'm right. one there, one there. Okay, there's something blocking it from coming out all the way. I'm assuming it's the screw at the top there. Let's see. No. Quite a tiny one. Okay. No. No, still something blocking it. I'm not sure what it is. I'm assuming it's this. Could be wrong. And I can't get under there. Can't really see. Yeah, there's definitely something there. So okay, I have no idea what is blocking it there. And unfortunately on the manual there isn't an exploded view of the lathe, which would be very useful. I may be able to find one online if I search, but I have looked a little bit, not extensively, but I haven't found anything yet that will give me the full picture. Let's see if I can feel my way there. There's definitely a little, I can feel something. If I do manage to take it out, I'll show you what I'm struggling with here. The problem is I only have sensation in one of my little fingers, the other one I don't. So let's see if I push from the bottom. Fairly there we go. So this was being held down by this little screw that goes in there. Keep it here. And inside there is the bolt that still doesn't come out. Possibly because of these things. But this piece should be separate. There we go. Okay, in order to take this out, I need to take this out. Of course. And the key doesn't fit in there to take this out. So one of the first things I'll do is machine that so that I can get my, how do I take that out? Normal key doesn't get in here. It's quite annoying. I might have a ratchet somewhere that I can do that with. But because otherwise I can't take out this guide, which means I can't, maybe I can take it out the other side. Let's see. If I push it through on the other end. No, it's just not long enough. I've got this in the way. As you can tell, the beauty of taking apart the okay, this has got one bolt over there holding it in. So, and apparently this back shield is not the greatest thing ever. So a lot of people take it off, and I do have sort of my own shield there again, and I can't see the size of this bolt, so I have to feel my way until I get a key that locks in it. These seem to be too small. That's the next one up. This might work. Seems to have moved it. This is not particularly exciting stuff to watch, but it gives you an idea of, you know, the kind of things you have to do to get access to various parts of the machine and so on. So I'm hoping that they're just taking this bolt off. I can angle it enough. So I probably only need another ½ centimeter or so to get that. I think it's called a gib thing. Not sure. Okay, so that's come out. Oh, look at that. Not one, but 3 washers. Makes you wonder why. And there we go. Okay. So one of the issues that I've seen a lot of people complain about is that these little holes don't necessarily work where the screws are, but in this case it looks pretty good. It looks like they do. So I just want to make sure I remember the orientation is this, so I don't get it wrong. I'm going to take that back out. I'll leave that there. And hopefully now, there we go. Aha. Ah, all is revealed. So I am gonna take to cleaning this. As you can see, there's grimy stuff all over inside there. I'm gonna clean all of this. The main screw here, this is what was holding it together, and there's grimy dirt in there as well. There's like literally, you know, that's, I don't know if you can see the little particles of metal there, but you don't want that inside here. So I'm going to clean it all and get back to you and show you once I've given it a bit of a shower. Not really, I'm not going to shower it. Just going to clean it with solvent and paper and so on, brushes. So just to show you, in order to clean this properly, you really need to take it off from here. In order to take this off from here, you'll see there's 2 bolts in there. And there's some, again, I think they're called Gibbs screws. Forgive me if I'm using the wrong terminology. With another one of those things in here. So I'm gonna loosen this. Oh, that's quite tight. And it's gonna strip it. Yeah. So that one is a bad one. This one turns not very willingly, but it does. And this one is okay. Okay, slightly worrying because this one turns. This one turns barely. With a bit of, it's a little bit recalcitrant. There's a word for you to look up. And whoa. And this one is already stripped pretty much, so very hard to move. And I'm kind of worried. Yeah, I can't get a key in there properly. I might have to use pliers to loosen that. And if so, I'd probably want to replace this bolt. Let's see if I manage to turn it. Nope. It really doesn't want to move. It may well be that I might need to make a cut in there with a hacksaw and then use a screwdriver. These ones, this one does move, but barely with the pliers. So I just can't get enough force on this because it's been stripped. I'm going to have to figure out a way to take this out. Oh, there. Maybe just have to angle it, and yeah, it moved a little bit, but stripped itself a little bit more. So it's really not a good bolt, this one. I'm trying to angle it a bit. No, it's not moving at all. Okay, I'm gonna have to get back to you on that one. Well, miracles never cease. I actually tried the Allen keys that came in the little toolbox, and this one is a very tight, weird squeeze, but it turns. So, I don't know. Maybe it's some weird Chinese dimension that I'm unaware of. But see, this one fits barely in there, but it doesn't really fit in the other ones. So, oh, it fits in this one, sort of. Doesn't want to go in this one at all. So, I don't know. They're not exactly ideal, these bolts. So hopefully I can replace them. And that lets me take this out, which, if those markings, I don't know if you can see there, there's a little half moon on top of the hole there, and another one on this side, and another one on that side. So if that's the case, this looks like a completely messed up register again. That doesn't look like the bolts are actually going where they should be. And so let's see if I can now take this off. Probably not, because I need to take these bolts out as well, these two, to take this screw out. So let's see if I can do it. Not with that one. Okay, this one doesn't like the Chinese sized Allen key. It likes the Imperial. You can see where I'm getting at. I mean, all of these bolts, if I can find the right size, I'm going to replace pretty much every one of them with something solid and well made. So let me just take this out off camera for a second. That's one. Show you what I mean. This one is kind of stuck in there, and it takes quite a bit of force to get it out. So much so I can't do it one-handed. Or two-handed, apparently. There we go. That's one. And that's two. Okay. Now that I've removed those two screws, I can lift this off. And taking this off allows me access to these two screws, which allow me to take this off and get that piece on its own. So I'm going to leave these here so as not to lose them / forget them. Take this one apart. Always assuming I've got the right Allen key for it, which is quite the assumption. My comments so far: don't throw away the little weird Allen keys that come with this. they may have some weird dimensions that work better than whatever you buy in a shop. Whoa. Okay, this one seems to fit, and it's very hard. Can't budge that one or the other one. So again, if you're a real machinist, probably look away, but using the principles of levers, thanks to old Archimedes, that's moved it. And we do the same on this one. And that's moved it. There we go. Just so you can see, taking this off. And the reason I'm doing this is because you can see this like little oil things there. I really want to clean this piece properly because it is the main slide for the tool post. And I think it's an important slide that should work not only flawlessly but smoothly and not have grimy bits of crap all over it. I really need to get some whey oil in here because I'm doing everything with WD-40, but it's probably not the best thing. Oh, and this is what just fell out now. That's what was at the bottom here. You'll see it now. And I'm going to put this down over here. Leave this on top to remind myself there's a couple of bolts in there. And so this is the main component of the slide. This little scale is I don't know if you can see that, but you can see there's a little bit of a gap here, and over there it's like goes outside the thing, and it's just glued in, I think. So I don't know that this serves any purpose whatsoever. That scale is pretty useless, I think, but we'll see. Anyway, you can see it's pretty grimy, dirty, etc. I am going to clean this, and one of these days I'll remember to put on the latex glove I bought 100 of. So let me try and do that, and I'll show you once I've cleaned it. And I just thought I'll show you the cleaning process. You'll notice I now got the surgical gloves on, which again I have to thank Blondie Hacks for, because I notice she's always wearing them. But you know, Blondie Hacks is kind of like a top brain surgeon compared to me. I'm more like of your bush doctor who just gets his filthy hands right into the wound. So anyway, trying to learn from the better people. So I just spray a bit of WD-40 on the whole thing, because WD-40 is basically a solvent as well as an oil, and it helps loosen up all the grime and dirt. Leave it for like 5-10 minutes, and then I'm gonna wipe it clean with paper. Paper seems to work pretty well for me. When you need to get into the gritty places, then your toothbrush works just as fine. And you know, the added thing is, after you use your toothbrush to clean this grime, when you brush your teeth, the grit will just make it shiny white. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay. All right, I'll show you when I've cleaned it. And here we hit a very common problem with these type of lathes. So you'll notice that these are the seats of where the little bolts to hold this thing together are. And I hope I can show you how the first two, starting from the right hand side, line up pretty close. But you'll notice the third one over there, the hole where the screw comes out is completely off where these things are. And if you notice, there's actually a little mark, a little half moon, just on the top there, just to the right of my finger. It's a tiny little mark, which is obviously where the screw actually comes out. So if you notice, these ones are all aligned, and that one is aligned with the little half moon, which means it's not in there. So I'm gonna have to do something here, maybe a little drill, I don't know. I'll think about it and get back to you. You notice this is already in quite a bit better shape after just a bit of WD-40 and a bit of a wipe. This little scale came off as I was wiping it just popped out. So I think I might just leave it out, or maybe put something in there that I make or something. So we'll see what happens and how to fix this, and I'll get back to you on that. And here we are. Now, I've gone to the hardware store and I bought, all these are brand new. They do work a lot better than the original, especially after I've cleaned out all the grit. And this, you can see what I've done here. This is my very first attempt at re-indexing the place where the bolt is supposed to go, right there. And just by lining it up, you can see that it's a much better fit, although it's probably still not perfect. And I have made, I don't know that you can get that level of detail on this, but there, you can see it's the new hole is much smaller and not as deep, because I wanted to make sure I had it in the right place. It is pretty much in the right place, but what I think I might also do is grind the tips of these bolts so that they, let me just get one. This is one of the original ones, and you see how they're, they're pretty flat on the end there. I'm thinking to maybe just take a little grinding job to it and make a bit of a point to it, so that when it slots into these things, it works better without also messing up the thread. It's an idea. I don't know if I'll do it or not. I'll have a check. You'll also notice this is a lot cleaner than it was. But I'm gonna go and eat now, and I'll continue tomorrow with this.